I want to educate you on you. I want to empower you in times of adversity, and I want to equip you to heal yourself because you can. Welcome to season 1 of my podcast, Unshrinkable. Hi, I'm Emily Katz. My guest and I are here to help you find what works for you beyond traditional therapy and mainstream meds. Hello, everybody. I'm super excited to welcome the beautiful Pazit today. Hi, Pazit.
Hi.
Yay. Pazit is a very talented artist, designer, and art therapist who has an incredible story of transformation, which she will be sharing a little bit with us today. Just 2 years ago, Pazit was struggling with anxiety and depression and had lost her usual smile. But by investing her time in her sketchbooks and teaching creative thinking to kids recovering from the pandemic, she found her passion and pursued her dreams with full force. Pazit's sketchbook courses have made a significant impact on people's lives, giving them the courage to make changes, set boundaries, and become the best version of themselves. She also works with the elderly to help train memory and encourage positive change. It's amazing. Okay, so in today's discussion, we're going to explore the transformative power of art therapy and how it can save and change lives. Pazit will share her insights and experiences, offering practical tools and inspiration for incorporating creativity into your own healing journey. So get ready for an inspiring convo filled with hope, resilience, and the power of art. Let's dive in. Pazit, thank you for being here. Can you straight away dive in, please? Introduce yourself and specifically how you got here doing what you do.
Okay, so I'm Pazit, as Emily said. I'm very excited to be here. For me, it's all about spreading the word. I've done it under the radar for so many years, and I received the courage to get the ball rolling and involve other people in this process. I'm in my 40s. 2 years ago, after trying different things, being on anxiety pills, abusing substances, eliminating my surroundings, reality, thinking that I can go into my own bubble and exclude the world did not work. And for the first time in my life, I found myself under the category of depression. And I suddenly realized how tough it is, because I remember that people used to come up to me and say, "Oh, I'm depressed," and I'm like, "Oh, come on, what's there to be depressed about?" But I realized it's a disease. It's something to be taken seriously. A lot of people, a lot of people say, "Oh, you midlife crisis, blah blah blah," which I don't think it's true. I think yes, we all go through some kind of crossroads at our 20s, 30s, but we grow up. We have change, which is blessed, because we can't stay the same. Otherwise, we won't evolve, we won't grow, we won't know how to deal with what life is throwing at us, whether it's, tragedy or bringing up kids or marriage, relationships, everything. So it was after the pandemic, and I was always an artist. So for me, that was a blessing. And I thought, okay, do the one thing that makes you happy, that makes you relaxed, that gives you some moments of magic. And I started really going into sketchbooks. I filled dozens of them. At the beginning, I didn't have any inspiration. So I looked at YouTube and did some random exercises some other artists did. And slowly but surely, I got my powers back. I empowered myself with art. The encouragement for myself, because I realized that even though I have a very supportive partner, lucky for me, but it still didn't help. It was all about me. Couldn't blame anyone around me. That was over. I had to look at myself, which at the end of the day we all do, because we are all with ourselves. We all have to deal with our souls, basically. So I kind of made a huge transition where I moved country after I kind of learned the tools. I went to work at school. It was just the end of the pandemic. I was actually saving and saved by the children. They were 6 and 7 years old, and I saw what my creative thinking and what my tools and my experience gave them, and it was like a pill. It was amazing. They were more excited about things. They were coming out of their shells. At that time, I did not want to become a teacher. I actually studied how to be an art therapist because I naturally had those abilities, but I wanted to take some responsibility of guiding other people. And I did that. And then I actually asked my mentor to be my therapist because I said, I can't do this to other people if I don't know the method, if I can't experience it on myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I moved to a different country. I'm now in Barcelona. I actually wanted to move here for like 10 years, I think. And I didn't have the courage to do so. And I did it. I kind of, even in my sketchbooks, I can see scenes that I drew out of my imagination and they're happening here. Like I started a sketchbook club in Barcelona in my studio, and I saw how it affected other people. They kind of had like someone charged their batteries and they changed jobs, made changes in their relationships, became more confident, learned how to put boundaries to themselves and to others. I have this group, the WhatsApp group, which I give daily inspiration and exercise on the sketchbook. And it's like an adult diary, I call it, which
Mm-hmm.
is, it's not expensive. It's like with you all the time. It's this, and it's, for me, it saved my life. I know for other people it did also. You know how powerful the tool of art is, because I also work with elderly people that wanna, become more positive about this this time of their lives, that wanna train their memory, that wanna have more joy in their lives.
It's amazing, absolutely amazing how much can come from art, from expressing, from creativity. I did want to ask you, you mentioned that, you as always being an artist, you went directly to the thing that kind of brought you the most joy, which was art, right? But do you have to have a background in artistry or creativity? Like, do you need to be an artist in order to benefit from art therapy, or can anyone do it?
Okay, so all of my students, let's call them, are non-artists.
Okay.
That's the thing which was for me a plus that I taught little kids, because that's exactly the the kind of the line when people stop doing art because it's not going to get them anywhere, because this other kid said their art is ugly. And I have a very strong mindset about that you don't have to be an artist, but we are all creative beings. We all take solitary in artistic things. Everything is a creation around you. Music, writing, the food you eat, the food you cook, the way you arrange your house, everything. We are creative beings. There's no escape of it. You can be a data analyst, but you'll make amazing dinner party. It's for design a room for your for someone's birthday. It's in us, it's in our nature, like the need to eat, the need to whatever. It's survival kit. Actually, I believe that so much. My grandmother she was a Holocaust survivor, and until she arrived to Israel, she lived in Europe still for like 2 years after, and she was crying all day, all night. Her mom didn't know what to do with her, and they went to different doctors. They didn't know what was going on with her until one doctor said to her, look, just write everything. And she started doing that. Years later, we made a book out of all our notes on different papers, but she managed to survive, not physically. She managed to start a whole new life, and not just a life full of community and family and friends and joy and optimism. Sometimes the medicine is not in a pill. It's it's something that you drag out of yourself. Papers are flying around here. You just have to believe, go over that barrier of oh, I'm not going to draw anything pretty. I draw ugly stuff sometimes, but it's just sometimes about putting, color on a paper and doing scribble and doodle. And there's so many ways of getting your current energy of what there is to an energy that you want. It's that thing, what you
Mm.
have and what you want. Okay?
I'm writing this one down. What is to what you want? Because that is a very, very important focus in mindset work and coaching and, creating the life that you want for yourself. It's going from what it is to what you want it to be. And being able to do that through art is an awesome like thing that it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's art. It's also like in my club, there is also a thing of asking questions. Like
Hmm.
asking questions. Let's ask ourselves something. Let's train on gratitude. Okay? It's different things. It's like a package, okay, of how to train your mindset, because the brain is a muscle like everything else. If you don't go and exercise, you'll be a slob. It's exactly the same thing with the mind.
I love that.
Like it's easier for us to to be in the brain set of, "Oh, if I'm not perfect at something, I'm not going to do it," right? We are all kind of perfectionists. If I
Mm-hmm.
don't have to clean the whole house, I'm not going to start, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the little things. And suddenly you realize after a few months, the little things become big, and they become a ritual, and they become a permanent thing. Like now I'm grateful for every little thing. Like I make dinner. Thank you for being able to go to the grocery store and buying food. Thank you for a grocery store. There is a grocery store. I have the possibility of buying food. It's nothing is to be taken to granted.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes to some people it may sound like spiritual, but it's not. It's how we set our mind, not what we don't have, what we do have.
Well, by the way, I would argue that and say everything is spiritual and we are all spiritual and it's all a spiritual development. I'm starting to believe
Yeah,
that a lot more,
but
but it isn't about being woo
baby
and
steps.
spiritual. I know. I do want to say though as well, though, there was something about, so I have found, I think I've mentioned this already in previous episodes, but like there's one of the main things that I see that all my clients have in common and just I think adults have in common in general is that we lose the creativity, self-expression, and play piece. So there's like one of the pillars of you actually mentioned two pillars. One pillar of my model is curiosity. So asking lots of questions. And I think that that is across the board with therapy, with coaching, with, like getting curious and asking questions we just know that that's part of a healing process, right? And so curiosity is one of the pillars. And then another pillar is conditions. And the conditions, I call it the big five. I looked at like across the industry, like what are the main conditions that you need to be kind of giving to yourself in order to grow and to thrive. So good sleep, good eating, moving your body, emotional support, and then self-expression, creativity, play, joy. And across the board, all of my clients and the adults that I know and my friends and family, etc., they don't do the self-expression piece. The self-expression, creativity, fun piece, like we really like it's like we grow out of it, like we outgrow it when we grow up. We completely leave that like play, having fun, creative like side of ourselves. I think majority of us kind of let that one go. We don't make it a priority anymore, because we have to do life instead. We have to be adults. There's serious shit to be done, and so it doesn't really like make the cut when it comes to our to-do list. And I really feel like I've been giving a lot of homework and a lot of assignments to my clients saying like, prioritize fun, prioritize having fun, like make a list of all the things that you find fun and do like something every day. And I feel that kind of it's connected to this idea of using art as a way to self-express and have that kind of connection that you have with yourself, like when you have fun or when you're creative or when
Um, okay, so I think I'll tell you something. I kind of received the gift and also sort of the curse, because I was always an artist, okay? I was artist from when I was like, since I can remember myself, since I was 10. I kind of got the lesson in a very extreme way, because I don't know a lot of parents, and it all begins from our parents and from our surrounding areas, and like the modern reality. I don't know a lot of parents that say, yeah, be an artist. Okay,
Yes.
so you kind of in your life you're like trying to flow, but there's always a barrier. And like for me, I was always, of course, a very independent person financially also. So I needed to work in jobs. Okay, but it catches up with you. And when I had that breakdown, I realized that I can't fight it off anymore, that I have to be a full-on artist, because my mental health, my well-being, my happiness is the most important. But that's me, the extremist, because I define myself as artist. I know not a lot of people like to hear that, but that's the truth. It's in my nature. So for most people, that's what I was saying before. It's cut off. All the creativity is kind of cut off by society and your family,
Conditioning.
not bad intentionally,
Yeah.
but it happens. And I saw it. I was working, I had like, I don't know, I had about 300 students a week. So I think I can do that analysis. And I saw in every one of them, but I also saw that the way that the language is artistic, because they can't write yet, they can't, so they speak their minds with drawings, and it can be a line, right? You can see it. That's actually part of what I've learned, and I have the sensitivity to like realize it. So no, not everybody can be an artist, but you can doodle something, you can buy paints and see how they react on paper. It gives you something. Well, it's such a daily routine. I guess people will have to join my WhatsApp group to realize, but it's not about being an artist. It's about another language, okay? Because we can't always speak our minds. Some people, in my club, we even write songs sometimes. We refer to poetry as well. It's just another tool. It's another language for you to express yourself to yourself. Okay, the moment you express yourself to yourself better, you know what you want, and you can proceed with life, whatever stage you're at. And it's like in your 20s or 30s, when you're bringing up kids, like, what are your boundaries? What do you want to pass on to your children?
Yeah. No, I wanted to ask you, what kind of problems or symptoms or issues do people come to you with?
Okay, so a lot of anxiety, like big time. There's actually a lot of like, neuro art and all sorts of things that can relax you and you feel it after like a few minutes. It's a thing about focusing into something else, okay? Something which is very seemingly small. Depression, memory loss, a lot of like relationship problems, confidence. What else?
Okay. What would it look like? Like, what does it look like coming to a class or a session or your sketchbook club? Like, what kind of...
Okay, so for me, like the sketchbook club, which was physically started, I actually got everyone a sketchbook. And every week I brought different materials for them to experience in. So they kind of got the grip of it and were really excited about it. And because a lot of people think it's like silly, like what am I, a child? I'm gonna draw in a sketchbook, but it's like a memory, and then you can go back and see your transformation. And sometimes you're gonna have bad days that you're gonna throw ink on the sketchbook and do this. So now most of my work I do online, because I'm here and I have people from like different parts of the world Germany, France, here in Spain, in some places, in Italy. So we start with something simple. I tell them to buy, like obviously they have a sketchbook. Sometimes it's watercolors, crayons, anything in the house, even your kids' stuff. It's not about spending money. It's about discovery. It's about, doing something for yourself that is not. I have like this grandmother. She kind of had a hard time with her grandchildren. So I just gave her I taught her like simple drawings, and because what is a drawing? It's a line, it's lines and squares, and I said to her, do that with your grandchildren. They look at you and say, wow, grandma, you're so talented. You'll get your confidence back. You'll have fun with them. And she did that. And now she can't wait to spend time with her grandchildren. So it's like the
Oh.
little things, we can talk about change until we're blue in the face, but it's for an individual, it's a decision. Okay, something is not right. I'm not happy with what's going on with me, with life, with the place I live in. What do I do? Like, how do I make a change? And I provide like the mentoring of making a change
Hmm.
with art, okay?
I love
With
it.
self-expression, with love.
But it's not just connecting to yourself, it's also potentially connecting with others, right? Because once you're able to, like even that example you just gave, she made a conscious decision to be proactive, to seek out some assistance. She found you, she found, whether specifically she was looking for art or not, but she found you
Yeah,
in the art. And then that helped her connect with her
yeah,
grandchildren, which was then, and she's connecting with herself and with like I think it's amazing. It's really beautiful.
yeah. I mean, I get people that are, so down the line of nothing helps them, that they say, all right, I'll do art, I'll go with Pazit, because they're obviously, yes, there is a therapist and there is like workshops, but I believe that if you don't have something with you all the time, then you're not going to get the grip of it. It's training. It's like going to the gym. Okay. So you can go to a workshop and someone will inspire you and you'll come out of there full of adrenaline. But then after a week, you'll say, you know, so what?
How do I recreate that?
Yeah, how do I recreate that? I'm not, I'm just teaching a tool, like a tool that is with you, that doesn't cost you any money, that is just there to guide you. And a lot of the people that come to me, they rediscover themselves and they are very like excited, even though a lot of them are like, they don't always, believe, and they say the most famous sentence, but I can't draw, it's not relevant.
Everyone can draw. Just I swear, like there's so many similarities. I'm not surprised, but it's like I had I have an episode with the singing with a vocal coach. It's like everybody can sing, everybody can draw, everybody can self-express, everybody can, connect with themselves. And it reminds me of like how breath work. It's like a built-in tool. You have access to it whenever you want. You can, as long as you have a pen and paper or even a stick in the sand or a rock on a wall, like you have the ability to create something
Yeah,
and express yourself in some way. It is accessible to anyone and everyone in any moment, and
that's
that's
actually
awesome.
a beautiful example about breathing. It's just like that because we breathe, right? We breathe. But if I do yoga, which I don't do very often, but I have to. But if I do yoga and they tell me to breathe, I suddenly feel the breathing because I breathe properly, right? So
Hmm.
it's that simple. With everything you say, yes, we can all sing. We have vocal cords, but there is a barrier, okay? I can't
Yeah.
sing. People laughed at me when I sang when I was 15. And all those barriers are human made.
Yeah.
They're human made from school, kindergarten, school, university, clubs, men, women. It's human made. We come to a certain point in our lives when we have to start growing seeds in those places of something to grow out from. and not stay stuck in those. Do you understand what I'm saying?
No, yeah, I do 100%. I think that it's these barriers, this conditioning that has caused us to think that we can't sing and we can't draw and we can't this and we can't that. Like it just holds us back and it keeps us from accessing these tools that we have. We just have them innately. We have creativity. Like everyone has access to being creative and self-expressive. And I think that it is awesome. And I love what you are doing. Is there an exercise or a tip or something that you can share with the listeners today that they can like go and have a go and like implement straight away?
First tip, buy a sketchbook.
Okay.
That's like not take a notebook that you have in your house or papers, just have a diary, a sketchbook. It's not expensive. It's a few euros. You can order it on Amazon. Emily, I can write. It's like I buy the art creation. If you can put it on link, like art creation, that's the company. A5, start from small. It's like, I don't know, 7 euros. Just start from there. Draw with, if you don't trust me, just get a pencil and I'll, tell you to take cumin, from your herb cabinet. Just mix paprika with water and splash it on the paper. There's so many creative ways of doing stuff. And you'll see slowly you'll want to order oil pastels. You want to order watercolors. And it's like, I don't know. For
Okay.
me,
Hold on. If we got a sketchbook, then what? What's the first,
okay.
the second step? I have a sketchbook. Now what do I draw in it?
Okay, first exercise, okay?
Yeah.
But this is a childhood story, okay?
Okay.
I was, as I said, a crazy artist. And I decided when I was, I don't know, 3, because my parents bought me a cabinet, and the cabinet was white and red. And I decided I wanted everything to be red. So I started drawing on the wall in red, like the cover, everything in red to make it, And so my dream is, and I've done it already a few times, my dream is to take a big wall and just do whatever. What you do is you open, even if you don't have a sketchbook right now, just take a cardboard piece or a big whatever paper. Just close your eyes and imagine you have the freedom to draw on the wall and go crazy and do that. Just close your eyes for 30 seconds, scribble on the paper, and then when you open your eyes, just look at it. Just look at it, see what comes out of it. If nothing comes out of it, just start filling it in, with black and white, with colors, with dots, something will appear. My bestseller paintings come out of that. Okay, I find birds, I find flowers. You find whatever you need to find. Okay,
I love
is
that.
that okay?
That is perfect, and I'm going to try that. As you know, I'm a bit of an artist myself, and I love
We
that.
know.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna try that. I'm gonna try that. Okay. Amazing. Amazing. You're amazing, Pazit. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for sharing your wisdom and your time with us today. We're going to end it here. Big thank you to everyone listening in. I hope you found our conversation as inspiring and empowering as I did, learning about the power of art and literally tapping into our own built-in creativity and ability to self-express. So if you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, rate, and review the podcast on your favorite platform. Your support really helps me reach more listeners and make a greater impact. I'd also love to hear from you. What was your biggest takeaway from today? Stay curious, stay informed, and stay tuned for more episodes coming your way. Pazit, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Emily. You're doing magic work.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Lots of love. Unshakable.